Hi there, Dave here from Music Education Network. Welcome to this overview of MusicFirst Junior, a new application for K through 6 and 1 through to 7 Australian and New Zealand music teachers and students. If you're watching this video, we may have already supplied you with 2 special web address URLs and 2 unique logins so that you can experience MusicFirst Junior as both a teacher and as a student. If you do not have that information yet, please contact us via the information on screen if you'd like to arrange a trial. You can email info@musicednet.com directly for general information, or you can go to this web address to request a demo. We recommend using the Google Chrome web browser during your trial period. It's also very important that the Chrome browser is completely up to date. To be able to work between a student and teacher account in MusicFirst Junior, you'll want to have one regular Chrome browser window open, and then you'll want to open a separate window in incognito mode. You can do this by launching Chrome and then using the shortcut Ctrl-Shift-N on Windows or Command-Shift-N on Mac. You can also choose to use a separate device when logging into your student account. Or, if you'd like to only use one browser window, you'll need to log out of your teacher account before logging into your student account, and vice versa. Assuming you're all set up with your web addresses and login details, let's take a look at MusicFirst Junior. For demo purposes, the full web address that you will log into as a teacher is shown on screen. The link should be active in this video too, so you can click on it directly to open it in your browser. This will also be sent through with your trial details when it begins, along with your login info. When you first log in as a teacher, you'll have access to the back end of MusicFirst Junior. From here, you can access all of your MusicFirst Junior management tools by clicking on School Tools at the top of the screen. As a teacher user, you will be able to create and manage classes and students in your School Tools area. It's also important to note that administrative users, by comparison, will have additional tools for managing teacher users at their site, as well as the ability to batch import students and classes. For more information on these special school admin tools, please view the MusicFirst Junior administrative video located at the web address on screen. Back to the teacher login now. It makes the most sense when working in MusicFirst Junior to be working within a class that you create. So let's create a new class by clicking the Add button. Give your class a name, add yourself as the teacher of your class by typing in your teacher username and choosing yourself from the list. And finally, add the student demo user provided to you as a student in your class. On the right hand side, search for your student name. Select the checkbox next to your name and click the green left arrow to add the student to your class. Click Save, and now you have successfully created a class and added a student. Within the demo classroom for MusicFirst Junior, you may see a large list of classes. This is because there is one site shared by all of the demo teacher users. This is similar to having one site for your school with multiple teachers sharing the site. The class you just created should show up in this list so that you can edit it or delete it. During your demo period, we ask that you please be careful not to edit or delete another user's class. Back to the home screen. From here you can view your MusicFirst Junior subscription information, including the amount of time left on your subscription and the number of seats you're using. This is also where you can launch MusicFirst Junior to work with it as a teacher user. Simply click the MusicFirst Junior icon and it will load in a separate browser tab. If you've already created a class, Junior will ask you to choose a class to work in. You can always be reminded of what class you're working in by hovering your mouse over the Students and Classes button at the top of the screen. Clicking on this button takes you back to your list of classes, so that you can switch between them if you had created more than one class. Once you choose a class, you'll see the main MusicFirst Junior screen. From here you have access to the extensive MusicFirst Junior content library. As of the date of this video, the library consists of approximately 150 preloaded lesson plans, over 450 song sheets, approximately 200 ukulele, recorder and orchestration sheets, the Explore and Create modules from Groovy Music and Morton Subotnick's Music Academy, and a recording tool with a customizable metronome. There is also a lesson plan generator, and you have the ability to upload your own materials and embed links to external media. As a teacher, you can even type or audio record directions within your lessons for your students. Navigating the library is simple. Everything provided for you is located within the MFJ Library tab. As you can see, you're provided with lessons, pathways, materials, and apps. Each of these categories can be broken down into further subcategories, so you can more easily find what you're looking for. For example, lessons are provided for singing, playing, creating, and exploring. The MusicFirst Junior content library will be continuously improved and updated, so if you don't see a lot of material in some of the categories right now, additional materials will continue to be added. You can click on a single lesson to preview it. The lessons consist of full lesson plans with all the information you would expect as a teacher. This includes objectives, standards, procedures, teacher presentation info, student materials, and more. The lessons are fully customizable as well. You can copy this lesson to your library to edit it, for instance. And you can also share it with your school so that other teachers can use your edited or originally created lesson for their own purposes as well. Once you do this, if you close the lesson using the arrow in its upper right hand corner, you can access your edited lesson from the My Library or My School area. You also have the ability to create your own lesson plans from scratch by clicking the plus button on the left hand side of the library. You can then click and drag the various sections of the lesson plan into the template and fill in your own lesson materials. Within the MusicFirst Junior library, you're also provided with pathways, again for singing, playing, creating, and exploring. Pathways are pre-arranged sequences of learning activities for students. In the Pathways Explore area of MusicFirst Junior, you'll be provided with Explore pathways from Groovy Music. You can see how the example pathway has multiple steps or many lessons built into it, and how the teacher is able to provide text or voiceover directions to the student before each step. There are also a variety of pathways that include video lessons from Morton Subotnick's Music Academy. The MusicFirst Junior library also provides you with individual materials for singing, playing, and exploring. This is where you can find individual sheet music titles that are ready for you and your students to sing, and if there are too many, you can use the search bar to search for keywords. Or you can find sheet music that your students can play for recorders, Orff instruments, and if I scroll all the way to the bottom, ukulele. There are also individual exploratory materials, like all of the videos found in Morton Subotnick's Music Academy and other appropriate music learning videos. You can also upload or link to your own materials if you click the plus button while viewing the materials area of the library. Finally, MusicFirst Junior provides you with a few creative applications. This is where you can access the Create side of Groovy Music for creating musical sequences with a simple, fun drag and drop sequencer, a recording tool so that students can record themselves singing and playing for you, and coming soon will be the Create side of Morton Subotnick's Music Academy, which consists of multiple levels of pitch painting activities that are great for young children and students with special needs. Now that you know how to navigate the library, you can explore and discover further on your own. Next, let's take a look at how you can assign or share these materials with your students. We already have a class with a student enrolled into it, and we can double check which class we are assigning materials to by hovering over the Students and Classes button at the top of the screen. MusicFirst Junior defaults you into Assign mode, which is the mode you need to be in order to assign materials to students. We'll talk about Observe mode a little later. MusicFirst Junior also defaults you into Student mode, meaning that we will be assigning materials to students in your class. You have the option of switching into Teacher mode as well, where you can assign materials to yourself. These are materials that the students will not be able to access from their own devices. A good reason to do this is if your students do not have their own devices, and or if you'd like to teach a lesson using MusicFirst Junior in front of your class. Back to Student Assign mode. Next to the Students and Classes button is the Anytime button. This is engaged for us by default, and we are actually viewing what we call our Anytime cloud in this main portion of our MusicFirst Junior window. The Anytime cloud is where you place materials that you always want your students to have access to. There is no scheduled start or end time for the Anytime cloud. You just add or remove materials at your leisure. If we click on the Anytime cloud for our class, we can see that it's empty. All we have to do is find the material we would like our students to have access to from within the library and drag and drop it into the cloud. Note that you have to drop the materials toward the bottom of the cloud where you'll see the plus sign in order for the materials to be added to the cloud. If you assign a lesson plan to your students, you can click on the lesson to edit it. But keep in mind that the only portion of a lesson plan that the students will see are the items in the Student Materials area. You can type or voice record messages to your students if you need to.
Hi, this is Mrs. Amaya. I'd like you to practice this song. Click Next to see the music.
If you hover over the materials in the cloud, you'll see a red X that will allow you to remove the materials from the cloud. As soon as you drop materials onto the Anytime cloud, you have assigned them to your students. Let's take a look now at the MusicFirst Junior student experience. I'm going to navigate to my incognito Chrome browser window so that I can stay logged in as a teacher while concurrently logging in as a student. The student site web address for the MusicFirst Junior demo is shown on screen. When logging in using a student username and password, you'll see that I have one cloud to browse through. This is the Anytime cloud that we just populated with material. The students can click on the different assigned materials and can click on each item to open and view them. In this example, the student can view the music, sing, play or print, or download the music and close it when they are done. This is our lesson plan, and you can see that the students only have access to the student materials. Clicking on each of the items displays either the text instructions you've provided or a button for students to listen to your recorded instructions.
Hi, this is Mrs. Amaya. I'd like you to practice this song. Click Next to see the music.
If a student is viewing a lesson, all they have to do is click out into the colourful space and they'll be back at their cloud. After a student has completed working with material within their cloud, the circle next to the individual materials icon changes colour. It will be green if the student completed the task, yellow if they've only partially completed it, and red if they have not yet worked with the material. This is feedback you will be able to see as the teacher in the Observe area of the control panel. Let's jump back to the teacher panel and assign some date-specific materials to this class. Next to the Anytime button at the top right of the screen is the Planner button. This provides you with a view of the current week. You can click on any of the dates to bring up a calendar that allows you to change the week that is in view. After you choose your week, you'll need to click out into the blue area of the screen to close the pop-up calendar. The date of this video is September 2nd, so let's set a date-specific cloud to that day. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, click and drag the cloud with the plus sign in it into the calendar to the day that you want to assign the materials. I'm going to use today so I can see the materials when I log in as a student. Unlike the Anytime cloud, when you use the planner, students will only see materials on the day they are scheduled to appear. After you add a cloud to a day, it functions just like the Anytime cloud. You drag materials from the library onto the cloud to assign them to your students. The cloud will automatically enlarge so you can continue to work with it. When you are done adding materials to the cloud, you'll need to click out to minimize the cloud. The best place to click out is directly above or below the cloud. You can click on the cloud to enlarge it again if you'd like to add more materials to it, or to view or edit its contents. Now, if I go back to my student account and refresh the browser, you'll see the materials that we just assigned to the students for today have appeared. The student now has 3 clouds on their screen. This interface was specifically designed for touch devices like iPads, so the students can swipe between the different clouds. The main cloud we are currently viewing is our Anytime cloud. We can filter through the materials in that cloud using the arrow buttons. If we swipe or click on one of the other clouds, we'll be accessing today's daily cloud of materials, and we'll be able to filter through those materials, click on them, and work with them, just like we can with the Anytime cloud.
Hi, Mrs. Amaya. This is your student Jenny, and I am enjoying MusicFirst Junior.
Students can be enrolled in multiple classes. and can have multiple clouds from all of their classes accessible from this one screen so they can move between them. There is one more view in the Teacher panel that you have not yet seen. This is the Observe area. When you first click on Observe, it may appear that there is nothing on the screen. What you have to do next is click the Students and Classes button. This will provide a list of your classes and will display all of the students in each of them. If you'd like to check up on your students to see if they have completed the work you have assigned to them, simply navigate to the student's name and click the Choose button. You'll then be able to view the Students Anytime cloud, or go to the planner and choose any daily cloud to observe the student's progress.
Hi, Mrs. Amaya. This is your student Jenny, and I am enjoying MusicFirst Junior.
This has been a quick overview of just about everything you'll need to know to get started exploring, enjoying and teaching with MusicFirst Junior. If you're interested in purchasing a subscription to MusicFirst Junior for your school, or would like any other information, please get in touch with the team at Music Education Network via the contact info on screen, and we'll be more than happy to help. Until then, enjoy the trial and thanks for watching.